In a small, forgotten village, the earth was cracked and parched. The sun beat down relentlessly, a merciless tyrant in a brassy sky. For months, not a single drop of rain had fallen. The crops withered, the riverbed was a ribbon of dust, and the people's faces were etched with worry. Hope was drying up just as fast as the wells. One sweltering afternoon, something impossible happened. A sound, almost forgotten, trickled through the still, hot air. Asterisk, plink, plunk, plink, asterisk. It was the sound of rain. But this wasn't a downpour for the whole village. No, this was a miracle of the strangest kind. The rain was falling on only one house. Imagine the scene, a single isolated shower, a shimmering curtain of water, drenching one small, humble rooftop while everything else for miles around remained bone dry. The villagers, drawn from their homes by the impossible sound, stood in stunned silence. Whispers turned into a low murmur, then an excited clamor. What was happening? Why this house? Was it magic? A curse? A blessing? Curiosity, stronger than their exhaustion, pulled them forward. They began to talk and run towards the miraculous sight. A crowd gathered around the perimeter of the little home, their feet in the dust, their eyes on the torrent soaking the worn wooden shingles. They had to know the secret. They pressed closer, peering through the windows, their breath fogging the glass, and what they saw stopped them in their tracks. It wasn't a magic spell or a secret well. Inside, gathered in the humble main room, was a family. A mother, a father, and their 2 young children. They weren't panicking. They weren't even celebrating the rain. They were on their knees. Their hands were clasped, their eyes were closed, and their heads were bowed. They were praying. In their desperation, this family hadn't just wished for rain. They had turned to God with a faith so pure, so powerful, that it seemed to pierce the heavens. While the rest of the village had looked at the empty sky with despair, this family had looked to their Creator with unwavering belief. The rain wasn't falling on their house. It was falling on their faith. The sight struck the villagers to their core. In that moment, they understood. They hadn't just forgotten the feeling of rain. They had forgotten the power of prayer. They had forgotten where true hope comes from. One by one, the villagers outside the little house dropped to their knees in the dust. A quiet prayer started, then another and another, until the entire village was united in a single heartfelt plea. And as their collective faith rose to the heavens, the sky began to change. The lone shower on the single roof slowly, miraculously, began to expand. The curtain of water widened, spreading from one roof to the next, until the entire village was enveloped in the cool, life-giving embrace of a downpour. The miracle for one had become a blessing for all because one family dared to believe. This story is a beautiful reminder that even when you feel isolated, even when the world around you is dry and hopeless, a single, faithful heart can be the source of a miracle that touches everyone. Let God's word reach more hearts. If this story moved you, subscribe now.